tout le monde. Bienvenido al programa que quieres disfrutar ou quieres parler de petits things. Bonjour à tout le monde. Aujourd'hui, je suis comme mes femmes ici. Je suis avec mes femmes. Laisse-moi parler mon français calmement. Aujourd'hui, c'est vendredi. Là où je suis là, je suis prête pour tout. Good morning, guys. Welcome to the show.
Anyway, there she goes again. Cuckoo. Kat, I know you don't know. You don't know. So let me enlighten you. Because the key to effective communication is that the receiver understands what the deliverer
is saying.
I think that Catherine feels like this is our show and she thinks it's a French show. But Lolo, you to speak the one you can speak and leave her alone.
Do you know?
Let's just move on.
Let me clear. Hey, tap.
Ta-ta.
You know, like,
please,
listen.
She looks amazing, but I cannot deny my instincts that this is not just fashion.
Thank you.
Something is wrong under those eyes.
Bam, that's it.
What is happening there?
I dare you. Can we just separate? Can you separate the intimacy between your eyes and your glasses?
She said your voice is loud.
Please, your voice is loud. My ears, it feels like you're inside my ears.
Oh!
I'm in recovery. So, Edjo, have mercy on me.
In 24 hours, what could have happened? Anyway, there was that series 24 hours.
See, I was on one bed on a Thursday, and now I'm working on a Friday morning. And let me tell you right now, I'm struggling. I'm struggling.
We can see it.
I know the exact things that she did.
Whoa, come on, so for me for
that what?
Lori tebu ka joko na ro for àwọn omuriri kunrin.
Oh my God.
Ko ni ọba wa bi se Thursday. Ade tu lo party na le.
Thursday.
Kí lem jẹ wa? Kí jẹ wa? Kom ṣe. E ọ̀gá lè ṣe. Ẹni tí come and di àwa. Tí come and di wa.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni.
Orobla party.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni o.
Wo next week yẹn. Kí mo de ba na ki báyìí. Wọ́n pè mí sí party o. Dede na ni mama attend.
Translation.
I know my mother-in-law will be loving this right now. She's understanding what Lolo is saying.
Oh my God, my Jebu is
because I don't understand the word of what you just said.
No, hold on. That's a different language.
It's a dialect. It's a dialect.
I don't understand. No. I speak Yoruba, but I don't understand what she's saying.
Yes, it's a dialectal form.
Come here.
Thursday. I heard one bed. Wow. I don't know anything.
That's kudos to you. I mean, it's nice that I hear you speak. You know,
Catherine, on a Friday, you have something to commend me about. What I'm going to so love you next week. It's going to be choking.
Oh, Lola's talking.
She has added it to her to-do list.
At least you haven't had your own day of loving.
Only Lolo plans went to
I just want to get through the fog that's in my head.
You're gonna be okay.
Whatever is in my cup.
Exactly what she
Whatever is in my cup.
Whatever is in our cup.
Catherine, cheers to you.
Cheers.
Let's just do.
But you know, I told you guys, it was Raina that came out last night. It wasn't Tab. Tab is in the office. It was Raina that came out last night.
I love it when she shows up.
I love Raina when Raina shows up.
Oh no.
Raina
when you see Raina is okay. If you think our Gen Z is a baddie, Raina is bad.
I think I'm even going to resign from that position because it's like I'm a goody. There ain't nobody here.
I think I'm more baddie than her. I was out last night enjoying myself, just oppressing the people on my WhatsApp, and once I put in this nose ring, it's a different personality that is. And I wanted to bring that personality for you people. It's not that I forgot. I'm like right now. I went back to my car 4 times this morning.
I love this. You see, I love it.
No, Fridays on Jasiri. Yeah. If you miss every day of the show, if you miss Friday, honestly, you need to be rehabilitated.
Yeah. Rehabilitation.
As you can see, the ladies are so pumped and we're excited.
Our guest is here.
Oh my God. Not only because it's TGIF and we have somewhere fun to be after the show.
I beg, speak for yourself.
Oh, that's true. I have to leave you behind. I'm so sorry. I'll eat jollof rice on your behalf. All right, guys.
Party spirit.
Anyway, we want to get straight into the week that Now, can you see me? Because I can see you.
Your eyes are barely opening. Just be talking.
Don't mind her.
Shameless.
She wants to use smile. She wants to use...
Mr. Balogun, these are people you call your friends.
Mr. B.
Your wife is totally on the shameless spectrum.
Jesus.
Just like some people have autism and ADHD,
Yes.
this is what you call shameless spectrum.
That's what she just said.
And we shall charge you extra for marrying her.
Yes.
How can you be carrying her out on Thursday?
Because from the get-go, you know that we know what happened from the first day.
Please let's go to the weekend.
Can we just
this
focus?
show,
Can we
this
focus,
is not
ladies?
how we plan to start this show.
Can we focus?
I don't know.
So anyways, we have a rich lineup of discussions, right? One can say that it was a very, Catherine, I will throw you blue. One can say that it was a very political week on Jasiri because there was just something new every day you wake up, either with the federal government, the leaders, the Senate, and even the state of security. And if you missed any of our discussions, you are in luck because it's time for the week that was.
You know, Blessings, it's a good thing that you mentioned the state of security, or should we say insecurity in Nigeria. And my most passionate moment from Monday was seeing Tolu being so expressive about the level of kidnappings and attacks in the country. Let's take a look how irate she was.
We're talking women's participation in governance. We're talking women's participation in leadership because the four of us might be safe, but we are not necessarily all of Nigeria's women.
Yes.
The majority of Nigerian women are not safe. And I can leave this studio today and go to a market and be unsafe.
Yes.
It's a situational situation. It changes from where I am from one place to the next. And as Blessings has said, we are not going to safeguard ourselves by ourselves. Lolo, we can learn all the self-defense we want, but when you're coming up against a massive man, or you're coming up against a man who has maybe 20 kg on you, it may not work. Let's be really honest.
Stand up for you.
And people do not get involved. I was sharing, I don't know who I was sharing it with earlier. I had a situation when I was younger and I was dating somebody, and I was trying to leave. I was on an Okada. And I was telling the Okada, go. And then he was on Okada. And he was directing my Okada to pull over. And my Okada pulled over and said, Auntie, I don't want to get involved. I'm the one paying. I wanted to leave a situation. Why are you pulling over? Because a man tells you to pull over. So we need to question ourselves and the actions that we individually take that oftentimes can either put women in harm or make it look like women's safety is not. I don't know why they're saying stand by Tolu. Because I'm telling you, I'm not president.
You sparked on that day,
no,
you sparked.
See, when we talk about it, with everything we've heard again, we're not going to pay ransom. They know where they are. They're worried about the casualties that will come if they go in with a heavy hand. It's just a lot. And we get tired of what just, to me, comes across as excuses. You wouldn't have to be rescuing so many people if you stopped it when it was starting. But right now, we literally have a racket on our hands. They're kidnapping, making money, buying weapons, continuing their tirade of terrorism and banditry and ravaging across the country because we simply are not nipping it in the bud. We need to restructure our security our security apparatus. If your security chiefs are not doing what they need to do, let them go. Did we not complain about that during the Buhari administration? We can't see that in the Tinubu administration with how many kidnappings in just a matter of 5 days. I have a child. I cannot imagine. I said it yesterday, the woman who sent her daughter to school, even though the daughter was feverish, the one who came back home for a pencil and the parent, I cannot imagine what those parents are going through. And I pray to God that their children come home, and I pray to God that more parents in Nigeria do not, family members, loved ones, do not have to go through that. But it's going to continue to happen as long as our government is not doing the right thing at the right time.
As long as they are not afraid, the thing will keep thriving because now everybody is paying. And as long as they're paying, it's a lucrative business. You can't tell a businessman not to do business. Except the government step in, just as Tolu has said, and do the right thing. As long as they know they won't go unpunished. They won't have the audacity. We're talking about almost 300 children. That means, don't look at it in homes, families.
And now the bandits have now threatened that if the ransom is not paid, they're going to start killing the children. We're hoping it doesn't get to that. We're really hoping it doesn't get to that.
Let's continue reviewing the week that was. And for me, it was Tuesday as we, along with the rest of the world, discovered that, you could get arrested for simply doing good. Are you confused? Our guest on Tuesday only helped take a pregnant woman who collapsed in front of her gate to the hospital and now finds herself facing accusations of domestic violence and is being charged along with her sister with assault, threat to life, inciting violence, and 2 other crimes. Here's a clip from the interview with Nkirika, Inwete Eze.
Did you assault anybody in the hospital? Did you push someone? Did you fight someone?
No. Actually, we were the ones pushed.
So do you
and we were the ones verbally assaulted because we were called Ashawo from the hospital staff. They told us they were going to slash our tires. They said we are women and we must be obedient.
What?
Then they called us empty vessels.
Please, let me ask a question. When the police came and got involved, did they ask you what happened, or where did they get the information from that got them to file those charges?
They didn't ask us what happened at the hospital. At the hospital, they didn't ask us what happened. All they said was, we have to go back into the hospital.
An update that has left me smacked.
So there's actually more, because I spoke to Nkiruka after the show. Why am I saying Nkiruka?
No, Tolu, we are.
It's okay.
It's fine. No, it's
I spoke to her after the show, and she gave me some updates. All of them I can't share, but I do know now that the case is going to court next month. They do have a lawyer. The woman who, remember I told you again that she collapsed again in front of their in front of their house. As of the day we spoke to her, the woman was still in ICU. I don't know if she's out now, but there's still just a lot more, and it has to do with her husband's family, even this pregnancy that she has. But unfortunate thing is, the way and manner in which it's playing out is roping people in. They were accused of domestic violence. They're now charged by the hospital and the police. How? The person has said they didn't do anything to me. Why are they even still facing? But the hope is that when they go to court next month, that the charges will be dismissed.
Well, like we said, hopefully.
Cheers to that.
And we're going to follow up with that conversation to see how it goes. Lolo, are you okay?
What was in that cup?
Wait, how can you sit next to Tolu and you will not imbibe by mistake?
Imbibe what? What are you imbibing?
Anyways, guys,
presence is a natural high for you. What do you mean?
So,
take it
still on the week that was.
Nonsense.
For me, Dr. Nimi Ekere carried me to where I don't know when she explained raising children beyond gender roles. I mean, I get where she's coming from, but I really do hope that we don't eventually start what we cannot finish. I'm just saying.
To prepare ourselves for marriage while our brothers could play. So it's hindered us a great deal, and it's still hindering a lot of girls. It's still hindering a lot of women, because in their heads it's like, let me just do this and go get married, have a man that will pay my bills, and in the end they're economically not empowered. Of course they would not have a say in their marriages or in their unions or partnership or whatever it is, and that will breed gender-based violence. Again, on the other side, on the flip side, we have men that have been told that they are men, or boys that have been told that they are men.
The Lord and Master.
Yes, and that they can't express their emotions.
Want to talk about it?
She carried me where I was not knowing where I was going, because I was following the conversation. I'm wondering, okay, so yeah. But one thing is clear is that we are. This world is evolving. It's evolving, guys. And I have an idea, or let me see, my spirit is telling me where it's going. It may not be what. Wait, it's not like that. It may not be what everybody's familiar with or comfortable with, but that's where we're going to be heading, because if you're embracing yourself more than what you were taught when you were growing up, and you're opening up yourself to more, possibilities.
I think as we evolve.
Okay, it's okay.
I think as we evolve, I must get it right today. Don't ask questions. I have no answers. Parenting has to evolve. If our parenting styles don't evolve, we're not saying that our children should not be raised with the morals and the values we're raised with, but there's a different way in which those things are being taught. And you need to teach them with the reality that you can only cocoon them for so long. Yes. They're going to go outside. They're going to meet different people. They're going to be... I always remember I was in high school, doing homework very late at night. My phone starts ringing. What happened? My AP physics teacher's son was on Jerry Springer. I can never forget. He was on Jerry Springer with his boyfriend. AP physics. AP American history. We get to class the next day. I've never seen my class that quiet. So I was watching the Jerry Springer, Brandon, from you to know. I still remember his name. I was watching the Jerry Springer and I'm seeing Brandon. I'm like, what's going on here? Exactly. My dad comes out and says, where are you? I'm like, that boy goes to my school. He's my teacher's son. He said, wow. He went back to bed. I get to class the next day, dead silence. Because nobody can talk. We all just saw your son come out on Jerry Springer and talk about boyfriend.
Yes.
So whether you like it or not, it is coming. It is coming for us to prepare how we talk to our children. And I think at the end of the day, we can reject whatever we want to reject, and continue to imbibe kindness and empathy in our children. I think that's it for me.
And this is a very important point, or an important couple of points that Tolu has pointed out for us this morning. And truly speaking, pour dire la vérité, parfois je me coince. I'll be wrapping up the week that was with a clip from our show yesterday, still on Tolu. That's why I say Tolu's on a roll, man. But Tolu asked a very, very brilliant question. She asked this to our guest when we looked at the politics of women's reproductive rights. Let's take a look.
Safe and legal abortions. How ingrained is it as part and parcel of women's reproductive health rights? Very quickly, because of time, unfortunately.
It's not well ingrained. It's work in progress. I know 3 attempts have been made at the national level to legitimize it for even beyond the scope of what it is. And we kind of even don't say illegal. We have restrictive laws around abortion services. Now, the laws have been changing over time, minute movement forward and backward. But it is not helping us because right now we have an average of about 2.5 million unsafe abortions happening in Nigeria. More than half of them are get complicated. So it is a big problem. And it is such a misnomer because we have
We just barely scratched the surface of that conversation with Dr. Lewu, and I want to really get into it. It's one we all shy away from, but as she said yesterday, there are millions of Nigerian women, millions of African women across the continent that go and get unsafe, dangerous abortions. They die, they affect their reproductive situations, and it's because of access. It's because of a lack of access to contraceptives. Abortions would not happen if people did not get pregnant.
And
people would not get pregnant if they were empowered to make those decisions. But then we want to sit down and judge because we have religious and cultural and traditional biases, and we're still disempowering people. It Kole work. It can't continue.
Did you hear that?
No, Kole work. I'm awake now.
Kole work.
It can't continue.
Kole work.
I don't like you people sometimes.
You see what you should. You see what you should not be missing, Jasiri, guys. There's always something to dig into, to discuss, and to flow with, to learn. If you still want to catch up on any of the shows, go on our YouTube channel. We are at News Central Television. Search for the Jasiri playlist. There it is. And enjoy your way. It's time for a break now. When we return, we do what we know how to do best. Stick around.
Welcome back to Jasiri. It's your favorite segment of the show. No, the song, the entire. I said the ladies are already dancing in their heads because it's time to unveil our special guest. And so, with drum roll.
Guys,
take it away.
Blessing, she is a chef, a musician, an entrepreneur, and the owner of several businesses. No more hints. Let's see who we have joining us for a Hot Topic special. She's feeling herself.
We've got the one, the only Uriel Oputa as a very special guest of honor. Welcome to the show, Uriel.
And thank you for battling the Lagos traffic to be with us.
I know.
Yeah, it was hectic.
Yeah, you know, we British girls, this is how we roll. We don't like traffic out.
What's that?
The accent come.
You don't like traffic at all?
No.
In it?
Oh my God. In it. You're fat. You're fat.
You guys are killing the British accent.
Yeah. Wow.
No, the killing was not a good killing.
You are moderating it.
It was not a good killing.
It was not a good killing.
So say it properly. Let's
What do you want me to say?
Just keep talking.
They talk out.
Let
No. Let's
Honestly,
let's not start like this.
Yeah.
Let's comport.
Isa, okay. Uriel, one, I love your name particularly. I love the girl. Yeah, you know, fam things. We young girls together.
Oh.
But, you know, I have to say you're quite the Renaissance woman, Renaissance woman.
Oh, wow,
yeah.
okay.
The juggling so many roles with grace and finesse, from reality TV star to aesthetic practitioner, chef, fitness lifestyle enthusiast, skin guru, and CEO. Honestly, girl, CEO. You know, I didn't even hate you because I would have put CEO.
You didn't hate it. You put a lot of A's. CEO.
Okay. You know, I know you're beefing.
You guys are disgracing me in front of my guests. Like, I cannot even say.
Our guest is wondering that this is such a refined.
Please continue talking to the CEO.
Okay. Sorry. I just want, forget the girls. You know, when girls are at a table, they get jealous over the one that is
Get to the point. Should focus on you.
I just mean, how do you do it all? Honestly, a lot of people would actually be envious of you. And I've heard it say jack of all trades. Some will say master of none, but you seem to be
It's not complete. There's because it's something of one.
Jack of all trades, master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
She finished work.
I'm well learned, Al.
Wow.
How do I do it? I think I've always, from a very young age, I've always been programmed to just work. So I love working. I'm an Aquarius, so I love trying new things. So for me, everything I do or everything I've picked to do or any business I've picked to go into, it's something that I enjoy naturally. And because I enjoy it, I always flourish in everything I do. So yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I can understand, the hair business because you look good in those hairs and things like that. I understand a lot of things that you do, but aesthetics practitioner, what motivated you to do that?
So I recently got my qualifications for aesthetics when I traveled back to the UK. I was out there for a few months. I've always been into beauty and I just love looking good. I always want my skin to look good. I recently kind of stopped wearing foundation, so I don't do much of foundation or anything. Like I always go like this. So I just, wanted to look at ways to beautify the skin and how my skin can look younger. I mean, I'm getting older now. So it was just a thing that I've always admired and I wanted to get into it and I studied it. And, during my studies, I did really well. I got tipped, as a student. They were tipping me left, right, center. I was like, okay. Came back to Nigeria. I have a clinic now in Lekki. And I'm also collaborating with different clinics as well. So there's a few hospitals that I am consulting for as well. So it's small, but so far so good.
There.
Wow. So you're a licensed esthetician?
Yes.
That's what, okay.
Yes. Call it again for those that are esthetician.
Oh, me, I can't pronounce it sometimes.
I have my own question, but the question that is burning on my lips as is Hot Topics Friday is, my sister, you just speak pidgin. Is it the same way you speak pidgin? Is the same way?
I don't speak pidgin well.
This thing is like ice cream. You're dropping it. I saw I went back and I was being tipped, and I was. So I'm wondering, do you speak pidgin?
Nasibo.
Welcome.
That's what I'm telling you. You, this girl that is not exposed. We that are British girls, we're telling you that we are all rounder.
Why are you encouraging her? We will have to deal with her when you leave.
No, but I love it. I love the fact that you are multiversed and that you can adapt to whatever situation that you find yourself. And you've been, I don't know how you do it, the grace that you have. Everybody says grace when you take on cyber bullies. And because I know that you've been open also about your weight loss journey.
And gain.
Yes, and gain as well.
I did gain. I lost quite a lot of weight and I gained it back. I gained it back because I went through a phase where, I'll be honest with you, I gained the weight back after All Stars. So when I left All Stars, it was such an amazing experience, but it put me in a position where I found myself a little bit depressed and I ate to comfort myself. So after All Stars, I did add on a lot of weight.
So how do you deal with the pressure of
looking a certain way, having a certain lifestyle, all the comparisons that come on social media?
It's hard because when you're on social media, everything is full front. people not only talk about your weight, how you would look.
Yes.
If you wear the same top, they will notice. If you wear the same shoes, they would say, is that the only shoe you have?
Wow.
And not only that, you know, I'm a woman, I'm in my 30s now, and the thing that I get all the time is if I try to do something, they'll say, this one, no marry. So no matter how much I achieve or whatever I do, because, you know, you always have the trolls talking about, you know, I'm not married, my weight, or you're getting too thin, you're this, that. It's crazy. And it was highlighted even more after All Stars, which was just last year, June, July. Because you remember, I went on Big Brother for the first time 2017. So I had a few years of just, you know, I had my fans, you know. So going back into the All Stars, I was exposed even more. And, you know, I was exposed to people who were really savage. You know?
And Nigerians, I don't know. It feels like there's a thrill that Nigerians get with making some anonymous comments that are really designed to cut people to the core.
Yes.
It's so sad. All right, so we have Uriel here for our hot topics, and this one really goes to one of the things, as you talked about, that you've been getting some responses to, and people will tell you, you know what, don't set your standards so high, you know, just take what comes your way, but we can't do that. Because this particular conversation has been trendy and spurring different responses since it broke. If you're on Nigerian social media, I don't think you could have missed it, and I'm glad she's here, and I'm very curious to hear what she has to say. So at Psych Albert asked on X, what is the silliest reason you didn't date someone? And I know you've shared some DMs sometime. The expression on her face already. What is the silliest reason you did? Let's take like 1 or 2 reactions before we take Uriel's reactions as well. So what are the reactions? I called him to help me buy bread. He said it's disrespectful to send a man.
I can relate.
It's all right. Next.
I can relate.
It's okay. I left her at home to go get some stuff, came back and saw her with my birth certificate, saying I lied about my age, that she felt so she had to check. Guys, my birth certificate was inside a file, inside another big file, inside a bag, in my down wardrobe. I gave up. That's FBI. She was in the police force. What do you mean you have access to guns? One more, because we want to hear what Uriel has to say on this. One more. Let's see if we have one more reaction to this. We were road traveling together. Driver stopped somewhere to buy food and she came down too. When she got back, I asked, you didn't buy anything. This babe pulled out action bitters from her back pocket, tapped my shoulder with it and said, for the road. Wow. Wow. So you DMs, the people you meet, what's the silliest reason you've not dated someone, turned down the potential of dating someone? What is it?
Okay, so there are several reasons, okay. I think there was a guy that we kind of started seeing, and initially I thought it was just a fluke, sort of the smell, and it was not a fluke. So
what smell?
Hygiene.
Wow.
Where was it coming
Bad breath.
Halitosis.
Yeah.
Halitosis.
It was coming from
Within.
That's one. Wow. And I get a lot of DMs, you know, a lot of guys try to hit me up and everything. And something that really irks me is, hello, Uriel. I really love you. I can give you love. I can do everything. However, I might not be financially capable to look after you. I switched off. Woo! Not that I'm not saying I'm a gold digger, but you know the kind of person I'm a woman. I hustle. I do everything.
So how are you approaching me like that?
So I'm not going to be with somebody who is aware they're not there financially. I mean, I'm not saying I want you to be a billionaire or a millionaire, but I am not about to have a man as a liability. I've been in a relationship for 3 years, 4 years, where I was the breadwinner of the family, and at the end of the day, he ended up getting married to somebody else. I lived with this guy for 4 years. He lived in my house for 4 years.
Wow.
And I was the breadwinner. This was like when I first came to Nigeria. You know, I was doing UK law.
Yeah.
You know?
Because, but you know that the way relationships happen abroad and the way relationships happen
it's different.
And you need a whole new reorientation for that.
Yes,
If
totally.
not,
you'll be totally gobsmacked.
And after all the bread that she won.
It was gobsmacked.
UK love. You can't do UK love in Nigeria.
For where?
You can't. So that's what
the roads
Wait, what is UK love? So we're talking about, and I saw it when I was growing up, and I came back. What stories
I
did
tell you.
But anyway, why do you think doing relationships abroad in the UK or the West or America is different than doing them in Nigeria? You keep hearing, women are willing to do 50-50. They're willing to grow with me. Nigerian women are gold diggers. This nose ring is really fine. Nigerian women are gold diggers. What is it?
UK love. I mean, UK. I think women are abroad love. I think women are more accepting. Women are more accepting. Women will, if you don't have a job or you've been out of a job for a year, so, oh babe, don't worry, I've got this. Don't worry, what do you want? I can buy the lunch. I can buy this. I'll pay the bills. I'll pay the house rent. A woman will float the marriage or relationship for years. Okay. Nigeria, I beg go. It not gonna happen for Nigeria. It not gonna happen for Nigeria. So I did that for years, and then at the end of the day, he ended up marrying somebody else, and somebody who was like so different to from me. Yes,
petite,
fair, everything. So I was like, I don't do. As soon as I hear.
I don't get money.
I run.
Girl, let's remove our shoes.
Wow. You know, because we all have to bring something to the table. You know?
That table.
We all have to.
And
it's harder for me because I'm in a public eye, and guys that I meet, especially if they're not in a certain league, I'm always concerned. Like, are you with me because you like me, or you like I'm gonna look after you? Because at the back of my head, I'm afraid because I've gone through that before.
So do you ever think you have some guys who are with you? They're attracted to this. They're attracted to the public-facing Uriel and everything. But when they get with you, they want to clip those rings.
Absolutely. I was talking to a guy who was like that, and to the point where he would look at my gym pictures and say to me, "Oh, you're wearing something too revealing. Oh, this is showing too much. Or you can't post this on social media." I was like, "No, sorry, honey. You saw me. Like you know what I'm all about, and you approached me. You liked me. You can't just expect me now to because I cannot be wearing this. I cannot be posting this. I cannot be working with this certain brand. Who are you?" And it's the same guy that he's the same guy. Like if anything was to happen, God forbid, and I said, okay, I'm going to stay away from this. I'm going to turn down these brands. It's the same guy that will now come back and insult you and say, look at you, you're not even working. You're not even doing anything to your mates.
We need to form an association because this is coming home
in this
too
life,
real.
Do what makes you happy. That's what I do. And I pray for everyone to find somebody who truly understands their being and who they are. It's very important to have a partner that understands and supports you.
Totally. Totally.
All right, guys, you are still watching Jasiri. We are carried away because the questions just keep coming. And you see, sometimes we run into each other's questions. But we'll take a short break. When we return, we still have very interesting stories on Hot Topic Special because the next story,
you don't want to miss it.
We are coming back. Oh, bien, tout de suite là. We are coming back. Hey! There's something about Uriel's eyes. We all agree on this table.
Yes.
And we knock the table. There's something about her eyes. She has not told us what she has put in there.
Like
there's something about your eyes.
African Barbie, Uriel.
Eminado. Guys, you're watching Jasiri on a Hot Topic Special Friday. This is how we are on Fridays on Jasiri. So our next hot topic comes from this post we saw on Instagram. And I'm curious to know what the ladies' response will be, including Uriel, of course. Now, former Big Brother Niger housemate Rachel Edward tweeted, as a lady, you can't settle for a man with 800K salary in Lagos. 1 week and your man's salary is finished, baby girl. Don't die. Hey, Rachel Edward.
Let's take a look at that. So somebody says this girl is fun. Hello, I was thinking that.
Well, you see, Rachel goes on to say, well, it's sad that most people aren't bold enough to accept the reality of things in this country. Ordinary $500 is what's making this man shed tears. What do I expect from a man whose source of livelihood is TikTok gifts, looking for any opportunity to jump in front of a ring light?
So after everybody was...
So Daddy Free, responses. Daddy Free says, get a job, baby girl, if you want to fund the soft life, or be an 8 out of 10 at least, which sadly you aren't.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, can we get some more responses before we get... Okay, this girl is funny. I see you don't want to build wealth with your husband, you just want to enjoy wealth. In Nigeria, there are very few companies that pay up to 800K. Even if they do pay that amount, the person receiving such salary will typically have at least 12 to 20 years of experience. Consider that a person with almost 20 years experience would be beyond 40 years, which means they would have likely married before reaching such a high salary. I'm not saying people don't collect 800K their first pay, but it's scarce, die. One more comment. This is why many ladies are married at 40 years because they're looking for ready-made men. Let's pause the comments there because I think our comments might be...
800K, you can't settle for a man that it earns 800. Growth mindset and financial education is what you need, baby girl. Can you see how all of them keep saying baby girl?
Because she was...
If not, you end up looking rich, but you will end up becoming a very poor baby girl. Jesus.
You know we just came from a conversation
in our head
having to do with some financial capabilities in a relationship. Uriel, take this on. We want to hear what you think.
Okay, firstly, I didn't even know she was from Big Brother. That's number one. And when I read the comment, I just thought the first thing that came to my mind was, can you, Rachel, can you actually bring 800K
to the relationship?
To a relationship.
I was going to
month?
ask that.
That's number one. And I think it's very unfair because a lady who is thinking about spending 800K in this economy is a lady who is very dangerous. That's number one because,
no, let's be specific. Spending 800K on a wig.
On a wig.
Spending your man's 800K
Spending
on a wig.
800K on a wig.
It's not yours.
It's dangerous.
Your man.
And another thing, we're putting too much pressure on
men.
We are putting way too much pressure on men. And we are suffering. I'm single, right? So us single ladies, we are suffering because these guys out there who are, trying, they have average jobs, and you're now saying 800K is not enough because it's not enough to buy your wig or your skin.
Are you going to buy wig on a monthly basis?
What are you bringing to the table? That's what I want to know as well. Because you also have to bring something to the table. What are you bringing to the table? I just think it's just too much pressure. I think it's ridiculous.
I'm going to be honest. I would not fault her if her salary was about 3 million.
Yeah.
But are you up to that, baby girl?
She's not.
But you guys don't know. I understand all of you, but I'm thinking about the fact that oftentimes women are asked to lower their standards. If her standard is you need to come correct and come with me or come to me with an 800K minimum salary, which knocks out a large percentage of men in Nigeria, that's her standard. What's wrong with setting a standard for yourself?
Like you should set a realistic standard?
Why is it unrealistic? There are people in this country getting offered 7 million.
Let me even tell you the truth, right?
Anybody like me.
People like who?
Like who?
I can't name because
No, I'm just saying, in what sector?
Are you talking about Tony Lumendo?
And cyber?
Let me tell you the truth, right? There are guys that will earn. There are guys that will earn 10 million a month and will not give you 800K for weeks.
As far as I'm
Let me tell you the truth.
There
are people that will earn more.
No, blessings. If anybody wants to ask something, you talked about standard. Then if you want that as a standard, then you are the standard yourself.
Said it.
Because if you're not that kind of 800K standard, why are you asking it of another person?
But do we know she's not the 800K standard? Because everything is not on social media.
Okay, so if she
has put her opinion and her standard on social media, and it doesn't mean that her finances
if she's
on
the
social
800K
media.
standard,
Tells me that
right?
she's buying.
Wait, I'm sorry. If she's the 800K standard, then maybe buy the wig. Let your man sort something else.
By the way, you getting into
you're putting your hands in the face.
Use your money. I am more than capable of buying a wig if I wanted to today of 800, 1 million, 2 million if I want to. But because of the economy we're now in, I wouldn't even think that. I would not even. It's just her train of thought is wrong altogether. It is wrong altogether. I think she has. I don't know. Like
let me not lie. Let me be honest. Right?
Mentality.
No. Let me be honest.
Poverty mentality. She has it.
She does.
She has poverty mentality. She does. Poor mental capacity.
I think what I would call it is entitlement. Because there is no. See, let's even say that somebody she wants to get married to is earning the same, is in the same net worth range as Dangote. It's scary to a man to think that you want to be using my 800K to be buying wig every day. No, you're not thinking business. You're not thinking our money together. You're saying that if your own money cannot buy me 800K wig, baby girl,
can she bring 800? Can she bring 300K every month
to the table? That is said.
Okay, so can she bring that she brings 800K to the table?
She cannot bring.
She wants a man to match that energy. What's wrong with that?
Let her bring it first. Tell them.
She cannot.
Let her bring it
So you see, I've been quiet.
No, we're not going to this.
I'm going to tell you
No.
guys out there, any girl that is, I have brothers who are wealthy. Okay, my brother, they're handsome, they're cute, they're wealthy.
And
any
they're
girl,
single?
and they're single, they're in the UK. But any girl that meets my brother today and said, "Oh, you need to buy me a wig of 8," I told my brother to run. No. I will tell my brother to
Yes,
run.
because it's scary.
So wait, let me ask this in a different way, because a wig is a very far extension of financial stability. But I think in what she's saying is a conversation about financial stability, ambition, and potential. But you cannot date potential. You cannot date ambition. You need something that shows you that there's a growth trajectory. There's an upwardly mobile trajectory.
So in this economy, if 800K is still potential, then
Bam, that's one.
800,000 naira is potential.
Solid money coming in every month.
Yeah. Number two, you say that this is what you want. Auntie me, sister me, what do you bring to the table? Or are you the
Oh, she's the table herself.
So I also have a problem. I also have a problem with the way she even, phrased the word, because she said, as a lady, you can't settle for a man that earns 800K a month.
Yes.
Okay, let's move.
Please.
Something is wrong.
I've been waiting for this story since
Hold your horse. You already know that Rachel is not going to marry. Who did Rachel marry in Bible? Jacob. He's not going to marry her.
Lolo.
So let's leave it
clock
as
is counting
down.
down.
The next topic broke a lot of people's hearts, did it? It is the buzz around Nigeria's richest woman, Folorunsho Alakija, and she was reported to have ended a 30-year marriage. When you hear about someone as prominent as Mrs. Alakija going through something like this, it's hard not to want to know more. Yes, Mama, what's going on? Kilo shele gogo, ejoma isofua, atwa broke.
Okay, let's take a look at some reactions before we get into the conversation.
Yes.
Now, this person says,
marriage is deep. That's why nobody should fault their decision. Folorunsho Alakija and Modupe Alakija are renowned, wealthy couple, well respected. For them to have gone this path means they weighed all options, and this could be the best way forward. Is it because they're rich that it's okay? 30 years of marriage part ways, despite the fact that they are millions, I guess millionaires, or they have millions and can afford whatever they want. I asked her the last time, what keeps marriage? Let's take one more. The question, one more. Wealthiest women are, oh, Daniel Renger, okay. Wealthiest women are not, marriage isn't by force, and it's best to respectfully part ways than to resent each other. As long as their children are affected, this shouldn't be a big deal. It's sad how many are trying to blame one person, but know nothing about what happened. So we will acknowledge that we don't know
what happened.
Time is not with us. We do have to acknowledge we don't know the full story, but this is what has been, going around the press. Are you interested in marriage?
I am.
With all the negative news, whether it's cheating, infidelity, DNA situations, even wealthy people getting divorced, people think, okay, you have no money issues, there's no reason. Do you think that because of all the negative stories, some people's perception of marriage is changing?
Absolutely, because I think nowadays it's hard to find somebody who's really genuine. Everybody, especially this generation, everybody has an ulterior motive. And people are not marrying for reasons they were marrying back then, Everything is, what can I get? What status can I get?
How do you make me look?
How do you make me look? For me, I do want to get married, but I think I want children more than I do want to get married because of everything that's happening. And, hearing this story, all I can say is, do what makes you happy at the end of the day, because you're past a certain age doesn't mean you have to stay and wallow die in that marriage.
But people will say at this point they have 4 children, they have so many businesses, and I've seen a lot of people question,
get a sugar boy.
What are you getting divorced for? Why not just live your separate lives? Why still break that paper that tied you together?
My aunt, is she my aunt? My dad's let me not even go to family before my sister calls me after the show. Somebody that I know, they ended their marriage 30 years in. And honestly, do you know that both of them went on to live like another 20 years more before they both passed? Because the marriage was so volatile, it was so toxic that if they'd kept on in that marriage, I'm sure both of them would have passed earlier. So sometimes a lot of people are just stomaching things. Like, I'm divorced. A lot of people will be like, and I'm the only person in my family that is divorced. So before I even got divorced, I had nobody to look at like, oh, this is a yardstick or this is how it's done.
Yeah.
So sometimes I call myself like the first of my kind in my own lineage.
True. I was going to say that marriage probably ended 25
years ago.
And then the remaining 5 years was just let's try and see if we can patch
I did hear a fracas that happened, I think, late last year.
Usually
that
it's not
the
like
man
that.
had an issue with their club. And maybe he actually went violent with some club member.
No. But
it was in the
blessing. If you know, you know.
I'm just saying that it was in the news that her husband, or a now estranged husband, was in some kind of fracas with someone at their club. And maybe some of these things are just things she had stomached over the years. And you know, rich people cover for many things.
But you know what?
But let's not just say she has. It's probably maybe the man was the one stomaching things. We don't know.
Well, I just said what happened.
It's reported that women actually file for
divorce.
divorce more than men do, and even in Nigeria that's happening. But I want to add one final thing because she's I'm sorry, guys. I'm having a moment. She's noted as having had several interviews where she talks about the fact that she still cooks for him. She makes his favorite dish. Wow. She has been one of those proponents over the years of really giving your husband respect, even if you are the wealthiest woman in Nigeria, kneeling down for him, making sacrifices because he is your husband. You don't want him to feel any less. And some of the reactions were, so you can do all of that, still be wealthy, bring the whole table, construct the whole house, and you still end up divorced. What do you think about that?
The only thing I can say, and I've said it before, is do what makes you happy. That is it. Whatever, just do what makes you happy.
Because did you hear the fallout? I heard on social media that between that day she announced and presently the woman has gotten like 10,000 marriage proposals.
I will even
Is she taking proposals for women too?
Do what makes you happy.
Can men be gold diggers?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, I just wanted
Of course.
I said men. I was reading comments. If you don't understand English.
I was reading comments on this particular blog, and young guys, they were like, is she accepting marriage proposals? I would date her. She's hot. I was like,
Do you know how money makes you so beautiful and young?
I say the world is changing. Vous ne m'écoutez pas. I
Cher
should
is
be.
70.
She's a vampire.
Her boyfriend is 30.
She's a vampire. Her black boyfriend.
Oh God. No, once you go black.
All right, that's a fantastic note to end the conversation on. Uriel, we hope you had a fantastic time, and we look forward to having you back with us because we need to break those things down, the hot topics. We had so much more planned, but we couldn't give it to you. However, the weekend is here.
Again, Tolu, you just had your weekend.
Excuse me, my weekend has just started.
You just finished your weekend.
She's having a re-weekend. She's having a
Don't forget that if you missed any of our shows this week, please head to our YouTube channel and check out Jasiri's playlist for all the shows you missed. Uriel is going to be back with us sometime soon. Yay. We're out and we'll see you Monday, bright and early 10 a.m. Uriel, say bye-bye.
Stay sharp, guys.